So let's look at his other big matches when he's there. We roll on to WrestleMania, his very first WrestleMania. And of course, Dusty's credited with creating Starrcade, which was the NWA's premiere show. And now he's finally out of WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania 6. It's in Toronto. And he is wrestling the Macho King. How does that come about? This is another match where you just seemingly, what is going on? Here's a WWF guy, and now here's really a guy we all identify as an NWA guy. And maybe, a year or two earlier, this would have been a dream match because both of those guys were near the top of their game. And now, one's in polka dots and one's wearing a crown. What happened?
It was what you just said. It was two of the top stars in the game. It was Randy and Dusty, and the characters, the Macho King looking down on everybody, and the guys that the Macho King's looking down upon are the common people. And you got the leader of the common people, the common man, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And you got Miss Sapphire, and you got Queen Sherri. It was a match made in heaven. And it was, I'll tell you a great story because I had been out with them during the summer. And it was a mixed tag team match with the Macho King and Queen Sherri against Dusty and Sapphire. In Dusty and Sapphire's corner was Miss Elizabeth. In Savage's corner was Brother Love.
Oh, wow.
So we did these matches all around the horn, and it was, without a doubt, some of the most fun I have ever had in the business. Because Dusty and I would travel together a lot during that time. I either traveled with Randy and Liz, or I traveled with Dusty. And, oh, my God, we just had a blast together, just up and down the roads and having a lot of fun. But when we first started this match, we laid out the match. Randy liked to lay things out. We laid out the match, and Dusty dictated a lot of it, if you will. And the match, in short, kind of consisted of myself, Randy, and Sherri running into Dusty's elbow. Dream didn't move. The elbow just stayed up in position, and our heads found it.
I see.
And I am having an absolute blast every night. Just working with Dusty, having fun, working with Randy and Sherri and everybody. I mean, we are having a blast. And we're kind of doing the same thing every night, and we're doing this for about 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And we finally get to Hamilton, Ontario. And we got a double shot. So we're doing a show in the afternoon and another show that night in Toronto. Well, Pat Patterson is the agent for both shows. And Pat has not yet seen our match. He says, "What have you guys been doing?" He says, "Well, we'll show you tonight." So we go out, or during the day, the first show. So we go out and we have the match, and we come back, and we're like, "What'd you think?" And he says, "How are you guys getting to Toronto?" I said, "Well, we actually were going to ride with somebody." He says, "Ride with me." So this is Pat Patterson telling Randy and myself and Liz to ride with him.
Right.
So we get in the car. He had a limousine, and we get in the car. And on the way there, Pat tells us it was one of the worst matches he had ever seen in his life. He says, "I hated it. Oh my God, Randy, you're a WWF champion, and you're out there and you're bumping all over for him, and you're not getting anything in, and he makes you look like a piece of garbage." And essentially, he's getting Randy fired up. Because he's like telling him, he's abusing you, and now you're bumping, and you're making, he doesn't do anything, and you're a champion, and everybody, they love you, and Brother Love, what the hell? He goes, "You get in for the match, you get in one time only. You got heat. Why you go in and bump all over for him?" We think about it, and Pat's telling us everything that's wrong with the match that we laid out that we loved.
Right.
And he's making sense. He's making a lot of sense. But to be just real blunt, man, we were fans of Dusty, and we were having a good time working with the Dream and doing all of his stuff. So he says, let's come up with a different match. So we come up with a completely different match with basically Randy controlling the majority of the match and getting heat on Dusty, and Dusty making his comeback, and Brother Love gets in at the very end, and Dusty gets one shot at Brother Love, and that's the finish, and we're out of there. So we get to Toronto, and we have this match. Randy and I have this whole match laid out. I mean, we've got it completely laid out. And Randy says, he's fired up. I mean, he's just all bowed up. He's ready to go. And he's like, where's Virgil? Where is he? And he hadn't gotten there yet. Let me know as soon as he gets in, and we need to talk to him. So Dusty comes in, puts his bag down, and they say, hey, Dusty's in the back dressing room over there. So we go marching in, and Randy goes over to Dusty. Says, Green, we need to talk to you for a minute in here. So we walk around the corner, go into the shower. That's where you had all your private meetings. It's in a shower or a bathroom stall. So we get in, and Randy starts off by going, we were talking to Pat about the match, and he didn't like it, and we had some changes and things like that, and we're going to make some changes tonight. So, Brother Love, go ahead and tell him what the match is.
Oh, wow. Oh,
and
wow.
I'm looking at Randy like, why me? And go ahead. And so I lay the match out to Dusty. And Dusty is got his back against the wall in the shower and is looking at me with these giant bug eyes. Doesn't say a word throughout the entire spiel. And we're finished. And Randy's like, okay, what do you think? And Dream just looks at it and says, baby, this is kind of like somebody going in and grabbing Babe Ruth and pulling him in the shower and telling him how to hit the ball, if you will. And there's silence, and Randy says, well, babe, that's what we're doing tonight. See you in the ring. And it was just classic Dusty, and we went out, we tore it up. But, brother, yeah, okay, babe. And from that point on, he was babe to us. And
that's amazing.
Every night we would go out and go, hey, babe, this is what we're doing. Baby. But that was just typical Dusty.